When you think country music, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Your favorite artist? The city of Nashville? How about WSM Radio? Well, no matter what comes to mind, I think we can all agree that country music wouldn't be what it is today without the Grand Ole Opry. So we thought it would be a good idea to pay tribute to that most enduring symbol of the music we know and love. So we invited tons of country music legends to join in the celebration. Singers, songwriters, the movers and shakers of country music history. These are the stories of the Opry you won't hear anywhere else. And the music and memories made on that stage will last for many generations to come. Join us, won't you, as Country's Family Reunion pays tribute to the Opry. Welcome to Country's Family Reunion. Salute to the Opry.
Give it a big salute to the Grand Ole Opry on Country's Family Reunion. Jim Ed Brown.
Hello, Bill.
When Jim Ed Brown first came to the Grand Ole Opry, you came there as part of the Browns. And then, of course, have had your own. You've had more careers than anybody in this room.
Well, when you think about how long I've been here, that gives me a good excuse.
When Jim Reeves passed away, Jim, of course, was a part of our Opry family. Your record label kind of tried to groom you to take Jim Ed Brown's place, to take Jim Reeves' place. Yeah, take Jim Ed Brown's place. Wake up.
Okay, Bill.
That's what that lunch do.
You know, they mentioned that to me, but I told them, I said, you know, no, you can't walk in somebody else's shoes. And I said that I love Jim, and Jim was a great friend, but I just felt that he was such a great artist that nobody was going to follow in his footsteps. But, you know, I still loved him, and I still do some of his songs, and I tell the stories every once in a while, you know, of how we got together and what all, you know, we went through and all, but he was a great friend.
Were y'all friends from the Louisiana Hayride days? Is that
the
what
Louisiana when we went down in '54, in February of '54, we went down, Maxine and I went down and recorded Looking Back to See in the studios of KWKH, which is in Shreveport. Jim played rhythm guitar. Floyd Kramer played piano. Little Joe Hunt played banjo, and some others. The Rowleys played fiddle and all. But he made a statement after we recorded Looking Back to See. He said, if that song is a hit, I better hang up my hat. Well, we didn't hear about that for a while, but he never apologized for saying that. And he also felt so bad about it that he took us on some trips out through the West and actually went on into Germany and all over Europe and all. But we made a lot of trips with Jim. And in fact, in 1956, in late 55, Jim Reeves came to the Grand Ole Opry. And when he did, he tried to get the Browns to come with him. But instead of that, the Browns decided to go to KWK, up to Springfield. I'm bad as you.
Thank you.
We decided to go to Springfield, Missouri, and be on the Ozark Jubilee. So we did that, and then we were there for a while. Uncle Sam called me in the Army, and that kind of killed everything for a while. But anyway, Jim, may I just bring back a few memories, you know, here of Jim Reeves and some of his music and all.
I wish you would. Nobody sings them any better than you do.
Well, I've still got his records, and I listen to those every once in a while because he is such a great artist. Was, you know, such a great stylist, you know, and just had a tremendous voice. But I remember so well this song. This was the first song that he ever recorded that sold 1 million records. And I know whenever we came back from Europe on a trip over there, I noticed he was awfully nervous the whole trip. And he didn't share anything with us at the time, but when we got back into New York, we got off the plane and RCA was waiting there and met him with his first gold record. I know that Larry Black told me that the Mormon Tabernacle Choir was going to be here today, but I think what we've got here today is better than the Mormon Tabernacle Choir when it comes to singers. So all of you know the song, sing along. Out where
the bright lights are glowing. You're drawn like a moth to a flame. You laugh while the wine's overflowing, while I sit and whisper your name. Everybody. Four walls to hear me, four walls to see, four walls too near me, closing in on me. One night with you is like heaven, and so while I'm walking the floor, I listen for steps in the hallway and wait for your knock on my door. Four walls to hear me. That's so good. Four walls to see. Four walls too near me, closing in on me. Well, like all entertainers, after the first one, you want the second one. Didn't take him long to find it either. Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone. Let's pretend that we're together all alone. I'll tell the man to turn the jukebox way down low, and you can tell your friend there with you he'll have to go. Once more, whisper to me, tell me, do you love me true? Or is he holding you the way I do? Though love is blind, make up your mind, I've got to know. Should I hang up, or will you tell him he'll have to go? You know, he loved to sing, and he had a great group of boys called the Blue Boys. When he was in town off the road, there was a little studio not but a little ways from his house, and he'd take the Blue Boys and he would amass a few songs for his publishing company, and he'd go down to this little studio, and Tommy Hill was the producer down there, or the engineer, I guess I should say. And they recorded a lot of songs together, sometimes all night long. I remember one day he had asked Maxine and I to come out and have breakfast with him. So we were there at the appointed time. Mary was there, but no Jim. Well, he was about 15, 20 minutes late, I guess, but he was always late. I sometimes think he was late for his own funeral, but he walked in and he had two little white boxes in his hand, and they were, of course, in the music business, we know them as tape boxes. And he handed them to Mary, and he said, Mary, here's another one of your insurance policies. Well, that was very true, because they were great insurance policies. There were songs in there like, well, Distant Drums, which you all are familiar with. And there was this song, too. I'm calling to tell you it's over. Yes, darling, your daughter forgot the words to my song. You're saying you're sorry, you hurt me, but you've hurt me much more than you know. You're asking me where this call comes from. Oh, I hope that you won't interfere. If your new romance turns out a failure, then here's where to find me, my dear. I'm just on the blue side of lonesome, right next to the Heartbreak Hotel, in a tavern that's known as Three Teardrops, on a bar stool not doing so well.
How many songs, all told, did he record that were to be released after his death?
You know what? I asked that question one time, and I don't know because there's still some. I've amassed quite a collection of Jim Reeves, and I have some at home, you know, that's never been released even till this day. But I don't know that they're worthy of being, you know, released. Jim was such a great stylist. The story, you know, Distant Drums is a truly great story. I think Cindy Walker wrote the song, and she sent it to Jim, you know, and Jim loved the song, and he wanted to record it. He took it into Chet, and Chet, for some reason, didn't like Distant Drums at the time. So he goes back home, and he goes back into the studio, and he records it, and he sends it down to Cindy. And he says, Cindy, I can't record your song, but you know, here's a demo that you can take and send to other people, you know, and maybe get it recorded. Well, Cindy listened to it, and with the great voice of Jim Reeves singing it, how could she get anybody else to record it? Because they knew that he would release it because, you know, it's such a great song. Well, it wasn't long until he passed away. He died in the plane crash. But after about 3 months, Cindy brought the song out and listened, and she sent it to Mary and said, Mary, here's a song that Chet might like at this time. So they took it back to Chet Atkins, and Chet then added song, you know, musicians and what have you to the song, and they released it. And you know, everybody knows what, you know, the outcome of that was. But he was such a great stylist, such a great voice. The songs that that I have in the little white boxes that I mentioned, in listening to them, I don't know that they would hold true today, because, you know, music has changed so much, but I still love to go back and listen to him sing the great songs that he recorded.
You know, in other parts of the world, he was known as a pop singer, South Africa and places like that.
You know, if I can mention it, I don't know that I should even mention figures here, but he still, to this day, draws about anywhere from $400,000 to $600,000 a year from his recordings.
Hey, Jim Ed,
Yes.
you know, I've had some records out in Europe in the past couple of years, and I would get these reports back, and it'd have the charts. Jim Reeves is in the charts over there every time I'd get a report. I mean, right now.
That's right.
Yep. He still sells big all over the world.
Gina just asked an interesting question.
Yeah. Have you ever toured down in South Africa? Because your voice is so similar. I just wondered if you had toured any of those countries where he's so big.
I have a lot of friends down there, you know, that I email and correspond with, but no, I've never been there.
Go.
I love Europe. I go there every once in a while. And Japan. I've had 3 number ones in Japan, and, you know, which is nice. But
Sing us a song in Japanese, Jim Ed.
Let me see. Yube, kimi ni atta toki, hebi kimi wa helo to eta ne, sono hitokero de boku wa koyoshite shimatta.
You better be careful.
Come on, I'm telling you.
Saying something that we...
Anybody get an interpretation on that?
recorded.
What does that mean?
I recorded in Japanese, I recorded in German, I recorded in Spanish, and of course English. So throughout my, you know what, Bill, through my career, and we're talking about me now, I've recorded almost 1,000 songs, like two. And I'm going to record those in the next few days.
We just happen to have a song. We just happen to have a song for you.
I'm sorry?
He needs two.
Yeah, he needs two. That's one for you and one for me, or maybe two. We write together. I don't.
Bill Anderson's one of the most prolific songwriters. You know, we haven't heard him do but just one with Jan Howard, but he's one of the most prolific songwriters that has ever been in this business of country music, or any music, really. He is, you're talking about a stylist. I guess he is a...
Go ahead, dig you a big old hole here.
Well, I can do that real quick, can't I?
You're very kind. You don't have to go any farther.
But you are. You know, and I know everybody here has the greatest respect for Bill Anderson.
You're very kind, Jim, man. Thank you.
Well, I had to do that because, you know, you paid me a quarter, so I thought Thank you all very much.
That was a great medley and great memories of Jim Reeves. I had no idea where he was going, but I was going to let him go.
I was afraid.
I could put myself in the hole quick.
I was afraid we were going to get bleeped on that Japanese because I didn't know what he was saying. I've heard some words like that. I wasn't sure.
I can tell you.
Bilingual.
What were you saying?
I was saying,
make the check out to Ed Brown.
I was saying basically a picture of you is worth 1,000 words.
Wow.
But it's a little more than that, but that's what basically it says.
And if you believe that.
We've heard Cheryl and Sharon, but we haven't really heard the Whites.
No, we haven't.
No.
Let's go around. Buck, you've been awfully quiet.
What does that word prolific mean?
Sir?
What does that word prolific mean?
What does prolific mean?
That don't sound clean.
I don't know.
It don't sound
That
clean.
means he wrote a bunch of songs.
It means it's time for you to get up with your daughters and get some music on. We were talking about the Opry stars that we've kind of paid tribute today who are no longer with us, and people from our earlier family reunion shows. Y'all are going to actually pay tribute to an artist who not only is very much with us, but as we're taping this in a couple of weeks, is going to be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. Yeah. Talk about her and your friendship with Connie Smith.
Well, he's talking about our good friend Connie Smith, and we've known her, well, at least since we came to the Opry in the 80s. We were made members in 84, and I had actually gotten to know her a little bit before that, and she's just one of our dearest friends at the Opry, and we love her and love her music so much. She really has a tremendous volume of work that she's done, and the female country singer. I mean, everybody says so. We all believe it, you know. People like Linda Ronstadt and Barbra Streisand say, "Oh, I want to sing like her when I grow up," you know. So the really wise ones do, you know. And
What's so pretty about Connie, besides her great voice, and she's a beautiful woman, but she's pretty inside out. Her heart's so good, and she's really been a good friend to us. We love her, and the song we're going to sing, she had a hit in. We don't even exactly remember the year, but
in the 70s, I think.
What did you say?
Late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah,
I don't know the
something
year.
like that. And then we had a hit record with it in the 80s, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just kind of wanted to honor her today and give us a chance to sing a good Dallas Frazier song.
Well, we used to listen to the radio. We moved here from Arkansas.
Sure.
We were born in Texas. Cheryl and I are from Texas, and Daddy, and lived 9 years in Arkansas. We lived way out in the country and listened to the Grand Ole Opry and the country radio stations there. And so we would learn the songs off the radio. And this is one of those
we didn't get to buy a lot of records. Sorry, people, we couldn't.
But when this was a hit for her, Mom and Daddy had gone to town on a Saturday and left me and Cheryl at the house and to buy groceries because we lived about 30 miles outside of town. And we were home supposed to clean the house and have it clean when they got back. Uh-oh. We had the radio cranked up, and about every hour or hour and a half, they played this song. And by the time they came back, we knew the song. And I sat down and tried to work the chords out, So anyway, I hope y'all like the way we do. And a tribute to our sweet Connie Smith. This is, if it ain't love, you better leave it alone.
Don't even let it start. Let's leave it alone. If it ain't love, then let's don't tempt our foolish hearts. Let's leave it alone. Happiness is free, just like a rolling stone, and only love can make it stay at home. Feelings have a way of mixing right and wrong. If it ain't love, let's leave it alone. If it ain't love, then let's don't even let it start. Let's leave it alone. If it ain't love, then let's don't tempt our foolish hearts. Let's leave it alone. All right, Daddy. Let's don't even let it start. Let's leave it alone. If it ain't love, then let's don't tempt our foolish hearts. Let's leave it alone. If it ain't love, then let's don't even let it start. Let's leave it alone. If it ain't love, then let's don't tempt our foolish hearts. Let's leave it alone.
Daddy Buck over there on the keyboards. Wearing it out, man. That's great. Cheryl, let me ask you real quick. Where's Rosie today? Why is she not?
You know what? She is a physical therapist assistant in the Williamson County Schools. She worked with us. She went on the road with us in '82 when I had Rachel, and then she got married to Brian, and he was working with the Kendalls, and then he went on with, I think by the time he got with Kenny Rogers, she said one of us needs to stay home more. And so she got off the road with us, but really she still travels with us some, but she just can't do everything because of working with the kids in school. She's great with kids. Yeah.
Well, she missed us today.
Well, tell her we missed her.
I sure will. She had a ball the other day. She had a ball.
Sharon.
Yes, sir.
Do you, when you're singing and Ricky's sitting out in the crowd like this, do you ever just glance at him? Because he had the darndest look
I
on his
do.
face.
I was
Ricky,
looking
you
at
had a
him.
look on your face like, golly, I am so in love with that woman.
He feels lucky to get her.
Well, yeah, I do love her with all my heart. She is the best thing. You know, she's just my best friend, and I'm just so proud of her and who she is and what she's done. And I love this family, the Whites. They've meant more to me than anything. My mom and dad, they taught me about Jesus, but the Whites taught me how to be like Jesus, how to live that way, how to live the Bible, how to pray and how to believe, how to have faith, and keep your morals right. And that's
He knows the real me, y'all. That ain't fair. He's kind of lying now.
maybe that was my first wife.
Maybe that's his last strike.
Yeah. Is that the third strike?
I got one at the table a while ago, so I only had.
He usually says he wakes up with 2.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I just happened to look down at him while y'all were singing, and he just had this great look on his face. I just wondered if
I did look at him. I
you
saw him.
it.
And I was thinking I should have said it because all of the hits that we ever had, Ricky produced them. And that song was one of them. And, he had, of course, he understood our background was acoustic. We were never a real bluegrass band, but we played acoustic music. And when we came to town, we were trying to play and sing country, old-timey country songs, really. That's what Daddy had done, and that and Boogie Woogie Piano. And so that's the style that we sang. But we played acoustic, so when we sang or took our tapes around to everybody, they said, some would say, well, you're too country, or some would say, well, you're too bluegrass. We just, we were like in that.
Too bluegrass we could have heard, but we didn't think you could get too country, as you well wrote about so well. I mean, sure.
You heard it too.
Too country for a country radio
What's
station.
that?
What
Too
is
country.
wrong?
What's that? Are the biscuits too fried?
Go ahead.
Amen.
I love it.
We're kind of preaching to the choir, ain't we?
Yeah, we are.
Hey, I played your records all the
Yes,
time.
you did.
Yes, you did.
Album cuts. I couldn't get
Yes,
enough
you
of the
did.
Whites.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
you
too.
Okay, were they country or bluegrass to you?
They were the Whites, man.
They were
That's
the Whites.
all I
That's
needed
the
to
best
know.
thing you can say.
Great harmony.
Yeah.
They are both. Ricky, and on my show, I play Ricky. I play his country, but I play his bluegrass. The Whites country, but they all, And I want to ask one question. Tell me which harmony you girls sing. Who sings the lead?
Sharon sang the lead, so I sang the part right below her, and Dad sang the second part below her.
But we don't
in bluegrass, you call it baritone and low tenor.
But we don't do it the same way every
No.
time.
Yeah.
There are trios that do. I mean, I've watched some of them
If
Tuesday that sing the same part every time.
Every song.
Every time. There's always a lead. The Gatlin brothers. Pretty much Larry's the lead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now,
Them boys, they'll
once in
move
a while, one of the boys might, when they're singing a trio part, you might hear them switch to a lead.
Yeah.
But it's very rare for somebody else to sing lead in that trio.
But you do most of the lead.
No,
But
I don't do all
I hear
of
her
it.
singing
No, I
most.
don't do all of the lead. I mean, I do some of the lead, but that's what I'm saying. We switch.
Like on
Daddy
San
sings
Antonio
leads.
Rose or
I've been-
something like Blue Letters, or He Took Your Place. He would sing the lead, and I'll sing the first part above, and Sharon will sing the higher part. Almost all the time,
See?
she'll sing the higher in a
Not
trio.
always, it's
See?
not
No,
always
I
the
don't.
same.
I'm
knew
not
that.
completely seeing
How
yet.
many families do you know of that sing together that don't flip-flop parts?
And honestly,
Y'all never did flip parts?
No, she didn't know. They didn't know how.
but I think in a way, now Ricky can testify to this too. When we first got our record deal, they kind of wanted to lock us into something, and because they were trying to sell a sound or get the public used to hearing a sound that was the White sound. And so all the singles that they released had me singing the lead. But we'd been singing together for 15 years probably before we ever cut anything for a major record label. And we all sang leads. And we liked doing, our kind of show was like a Kitty and Johnny show. because everybody sang something. There was music featured, there was funny stuff featured, you know, and Daddy would do gospel songs, or we'd do just all kinds of things. It was a variety type of a show. Even though a lot of the shows that we did were bluegrass type festivals, we did a variety. Mother would sing leads, you know, but anyway, I think it was hard for the record company to.
When she'd sing lead, well, I'd go down to the bass, see?
Yeah.
And they could sing the other two.
We could do a quartet.
We had Daddy sang bass and Daddy sang tenor.
He sang some of the
He did.
Me and little brother sang
Not
bass
the same
and
time.
tenor.
Not at the same time.
Not at the same time. That's the only thing he didn't do.
Well, we've given everybody a harmony lesson. That's watching.
And not only that, Bill and girls, but I've got to say, being a keyboard player, that I just idolize your dad. He's one of the last in a great long line of Texas dance piano players.
That's right.
It's a feel that people today
That's what
just
I did.
can't
That's
get,
right.
and
You're right,
I just
Joey.
admire you so much.
That's
brother.
where I learned to play.
Yep.
Playing
Great
dance.
feel.
Yep.
It's a great rhythm, man.
I think you speak for all of us, Joey, because we love him too and love that style. And you're right, you just don't hear that much anymore. Gene Shepard, I mentioned the Country Music Hall of Fame when I said something about Connie Smith a while ago. Of course, we're all proud of you for being in the Hall of Fame.
Do what?
I said, come down here closer so I can hear you.
I'm going to help you down there. How about that?
And you can hear me.
Let's don't get up
And
on
we can
that.
get a song out of you.
Thing.
That's okay.
Good
I
catch.
just spilled the water. Water
I
from
thought
the
you were going
wine.
to get up there and do some of that boogie woogie stuff while
She
ago, Miss
will.
Jane.
Oh, me and Jan.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah.
I thought y'all was going to get up
We
there.
got it. We had it down to right,
On
Seeley.
boogie
Don't
woogie
kid
boogie
nobody.
woogie boogie woogie.
I
while
know
ago.
you
I
did.
thought y'all was going to get up and cut that.
I knew that Shepard and Jan were singing that boogie with me. I was afraid to look at them, though, for fear they'd make a face and I'd laugh.
Yeah, you gonna sit down?
Is a pig made out of pork?
I was gonna pick you up. I don't know how to get out of this. Oh, you got it?
Oh gosh, I want to sing to these crews.
You want to sing to the band?
I want to watch to see how many of them miss it.
Well, they will, won't they? You get where you want, and then I'll hand you.
Now, if y'all ain't figured it out, I've got neuropathy.
Her feet.
Come on, Mama.
You got it too.
Yeah, I know.
My big fat
Is that hurting you?
rear end won't go up on
Push
there.
your butt over here.
Are you on there?
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I just don't think I need. I'm on. Let's go.
All right, she's on.
Yeah.
She is on.
Other than the neuropathy, how are you, darling?
I feel like crap. No, I have what a dopamine, which is a chemical imbalance in the brain, and it affects my walking. I can't walk very far at all, and I've failed about 10 times. Last time I failed, I don't even remember, and I was sober too. Are y'all ready? I know y'all are, but are the musicians? Bill Anderson, Roger Miller. Your world was so different, my mind, can't you see? We just couldn't be close, though we tried. Our both reached for heaven, but ours weren't the same. That's what happens when two worlds collide. Your world was made up of things sweet and good. My world could never fit in. I wish it could. Two hearts lie in shambles, and oh, how they cried. That's what happens when two worlds collide.
Thank you.
Can I get off the stool now?
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it more than you know.
I can sing better than that.
That sounded great.
Well, that sounded awfully good.
Let's play jump
doing
rope
the
here.
song very much. You know, Roger was never individually was never a member of the Grand Ole Opry, but he performed there so many times. You know, with Ray Price and with Farron Young and different people in the different bands and everything. It was almost like he was a regular.
One of the last times I saw Roger, he come in our dressing room. I said, "Well, are you coming in to slum or what?" He said, "Oh yeah, I'm slumming."
In your dressing room?
Yeah, I said,
Did you throw him
"Thanks."
out?
Yes.
Good.
He was trying to get me to move to New Mexico, and he almost convinced me.
Yeah, because he lived out there.
I love New Mexico, yeah. We just got off a 5,000-mile trip. Driving.
He asked you at the wrong time.
Me and Benny solve all the world's problems when we ride along. None of them ever come true, but we solve them.
I bet you do. Where did you go? You up in Canada or?
North Dakota and Edmonton, Alberta.
Yeah.
My goodness.
It's a long way from the house, ain't it?
Yeah. I love you, Bill.
Love you, Gene. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Give me your microphone there.
And to the car strippers back there, you done a good job.
Singing Dead on Pitch. Hey, Bill, is that the song that you and Roger wrote in the back of the car and y'all kept singing it all night long?
Yeah, we were riding from here to San Antonio. And that was in the days before little cassette recorders or iPhones or anything, obviously. And we were afraid we were going to forget the song, so we stayed up all night just singing it back and forth to each other.
That's wild.
Was that the days of Old Yellers?
Well, I don't know. You know what Roger always called that song? He called it Clyde. Not when two worlds collide. He said, I believe I'll sing Clyde.
That was a duet.
Roy, you knew Roger Miller pretty well, didn't you?
Very well. If anybody did, I did.
Tell me some Roger Miller stories that we had.
Oh, Lord. Some of them you almost had to be there. Rex Allen introduced us together at the disc jockey convention at the Andrew Jackson Hotel, where it's lived forever. And Rex said if he could get this Roger Miller and this Clark guy together, it would be worth selling tickets and just sit back and watch them destroy each other. And we did. In fact, the first day we met, we hung out in Rex's suite until it was time to leave, and went by Roger's house. I met his first wife briefly because he didn't stay in one spot. She was throwing stuff and he wanted to be moving. And he grabbed some clothes and away we went. For that entire week, he and I never were more than 5 feet apart. And that just began. We had so many great, in fact, the one, Two Worlds Collide, I said to him one time, I said, Roger, that is a great song. He said, it's the worst thing I ever wrote. You know, and out of that, I had a feeling it frightened him to get that, back then, that serious and that open. You know, it was better going chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug, and that kind of stuff. And those ballads and things, I guess his lifestyle at that time. He was getting off of the old Yellers. And we met one time out in California where we did most of our damage. And he had a briefcase, or a attaché case. And he said, well, I'm getting off of them. I'm not taking any more pills. You may have been there. And he pulled this attaché case up. No, it was during the day.
Yeah.
Daytime. Girls weren't allowed.
No. I slipped in, though.
He opened this thing up. He had to have 5,000 pills, all from the doctor. This is going to take the place of that. This will take the place of that, you know. He really tried to get off of it and off of the pills. We were in Reno one time, and he had one of these executive jet services, and where they guarantee you an airplane within an hour. You sign a 1-year contract. He said, well, that's a good airplane. You want to go see it? I said, well, okay. We went to the airport in Reno. He had already called and had one of the first briefcase. You heard that story.
I don't think so.
That Roger had a phone in his briefcase. First one, now they're down to you can put them in your watch pocket. And we get to the airport, and they're firing the engine up in this Learjet. Even back then, you know what it cost to do that. We got in his airplane, flew to Burbank, and to show me his house. He had just got a check from BMI or whoever did his music back then. And this was like the third one. It was close to 200,000. And so he was really having a ball. And we did. We had so many stories. I tell one and I'm thinking of another. But I said to him one time, Roger, I said, every time we get together, it's always who can outlast the other one being funny. And all these things. We were in the dressing room at the Frontier Hotel in Vegas. I said, I've never once told you I love you. He said, I know it. I love you too. But we have to keep our sillies.
Keep our sillies.
Our sillies.
Yeah.
You know, our...
I can see where y'all would be good friends because you've both got that quick wit about you. And I'd love to have been in the room just to watch y'all. It'd be like a ping pong ball.
I would love to have been there on occasion myself. One time, they would all of our mutual friends would get together, and they say, Roy's coming to California. Roger's coming in from Detroit, and he'll be here. It's party time. So they'd get somebody's house, one of our fraternity members,
Joella.
or sorority,
Yeah.
in that case. And so Roger stepped out of the car. They'd gone to the airport to get him, and he stepped out, and he had his feet was like a foot off of the ground as he's walking. He said, Clark, get with it. I need somebody to talk to. He didn't understand them. They didn't understand him. But he knew that I could get with it.
Sometimes he spoke his own language.
Yes, he did. All the creative things he did. There was a movie called Waterhole Number 3, and he did the soundtrack for it. One of the first things, this was legit. And then, of course, he did the Broadway Big River. And he said to me, I'm just thinking of one and telling another. He said to me, you know, I've got to write another one to prove the first one wasn't a fluke. He had, at one time, he had right in the Hollywood Hills, he had one of those stilt houses that you went in here in the garage and went to each room down was a story lower. And he said, he had one of those compressed air horns. And you could look down on the house and there were rows of houses down there. He said, watch this. And he hit that air horn and said, Rant! He said, listen. He heard this voice say, knock it off, Roger. And then another guy said, give it to him, Roger. And we went inside and left them out there just all in that one. Oh, Lordy.
How about another song from Roy Clark?
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yes. Thank you very much. We were in filming Hee Haw. One morning I came in, Sam Lavello, the producer of the show, he said, there's someone in my office wants to talk to you. I walked in and looked, and it was Boodle Bryant. And Boodle said, I was up half the night writing a song just for you. And the first thought that hit me was, what if I don't like it? How do you tell Boodle Bryant that, thank you, but I don't like your song, after you have been up all night? But fortunately, he sang this song. It was the first #1 record I ever had. Wow. It was the second hit to, I just had one of those lead shields. We'll have to come back to it on another show. I was trying to make
Yesterday when I was young?
No, I was gonna.
Yesterday when I was young? Is that after that?
No, it was one of Bill's. So in fact, my first hit record was his song. and I was trying to double over and be clever, but I still have too much Roger in me. No, it was this one called Come Live With Me. Come live with me and be my love. Share my bread and wine. Be wife to me. Be life to me. Be mine. Come live with me and be my love. Let our dreams combine. Be fate to me. Be fate to me. Be mine. With these hands, I'll build a roof to shield your head. And with these hands, I'll carve the wood for a baby bed. Come live with me and be my love. Share my bread and wine. Be part of me, the heart of me. Be mine. All my life I will do for you the way I should. And all my life I'll prove to you that it could be done. Live with me and share my life. Share my love and you. Be part of me, the heart of me. Be mine. Thank this great band, because I didn't come in till a day and a half after I should have, and they jumped right on it. And for your lyric writers in the audience, that whole last half of the song I made up as we went along.
Boodle been proud.
I got to think that maybe Boodle got a little help from Felice on that. I mean, that just sounds
yes,
like
both are.
Something they would have
She
written
wasn't
together.
there that morning, but she was very much on it. Felice and Boodle.
Yeah, you could tell that. You could kind of hear her touch in there as well. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to start out your day, isn't it? Have somebody bring you a song like that.
Oh, it scared me to death because first of all, Boodle I'd been to his home, and we've had a little sit-tos like people do, but we were never that close only because we never had the opportunity. And then to come in one morning and have him sitting there saying, I wrote a song, been up all night writing a song just for you. That will bring it out like, Lord, I hope I can put up, we'll bury it in an album. We'll do something.
You don't bury Boodle songs in very many albums. Billy Dean, I'm interested in something. I notice here on the sheet, the song that you're singing is an old Hank Williams Sr. song. Obviously, you weren't around in the heyday of Hank Williams Sr. How do you know his music? Did you grow up listening to that kind of music? Or?
Yeah, Bill, my dad had a band. My dad's name was Billy Dean, and he had a band for 28 years. Every Saturday night, they played what they called a square dance, and they played country music. And sometimes country music was kind of hard to, to dance to, but they would swing everything. And my dad was a big Hank Williams fan, and my name is William Harold Dean. And I thought until about the third grade, just because I had Williams in my name and my dad sang country music, that I was related to Hank Williams. I refused to think differently until I got a little bit older. But every Saturday night, my dad and my mom would go to the American Legion Hall. My sisters and I would grab pillows, throw them in the floor, and wait for hee-haw. And if my mom was arguing with my dad, he'd sing Farewell Party that night just for her. And one night, I remember it specifically, I was probably in the first grade or second grade, but my dad showed me 3 chords on the guitar, because I'd always sang with his band, and I was the little surprise, but I couldn't play guitar. And when I finally got big enough and my hands would fit around a guitar, he taught me 3 chords. And when they got back from the dance that night, I could play about 7 or 8 Hank Williams songs that I've been singing for, because of all those 3 chords, And that was how I got started. And but I thought I was related to. I was so disappointed that I wasn't. But some of the first pictures. In fact, my dad saved up enough money to come to the Grand Ole Opry. My first Grand Ole Opry experience was he'd saved up money to come to the Grand Ole Opry, bring us all up here, and I've got pictures of me with a white cowboy hat and sunglasses. I already thought I was a star back then. And the Ryman was closed. It's when the Ryman had just closed, and we couldn't go to the new one. And we were so disappointed because we'd waited. My dad saved money. We were all excited. I don't know who cried harder, me or my dad, because we couldn't go to the Opry. And then a few years later, my mom sold Sarah Coventry jewelry, and she won a contest to Nashville, and my mom and I made it up, and we sat way up in the nosebleed section, and I thought, one of these days I'm gonna make my way down there to the main stage. And so obviously it's whether you're a member of the Opry or not, I just want to say to the people that are here, you've always made me feel like part of the family. That's all that mattered to me anyway, is the way that these guys treat you and you yourself when we go to the Opry. All the other stuff is irrelevant. So it's really how you guys have made me feel over the years. And I've had, let me tell you, one of the killer moments of my life was the night that my daughter sang with me, and the Whites were there.
Oh, baby.
And my daughter came and sang on the Opry, and Sharon and Cheryl came around and gave her a big hug, and she said, I know how important it is to sing with your daddy, or how much fun it is to sing with your daddy. And so I've just had great memories all the way. When you mentioned how hard people living in Nashville and not going to the Grand Ole Opry, it took us, my family tried so hard to get to go to that Opry, years of it. And so we finally made it, and to be sitting here, is obviously I'm reliving all of that.
Well, now that we know you're kin to Hank, how about singing one of his?
Hey, can we swing it, boys, like they did? Let's swing it. We'll do it like my old dad's band did. We used to swing it a little bit.
If I remember right, your daughter sang a Hank song.
She did. I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. The first song my dad ever taught me, and it was a requirement. She had to learn that one before she learned anything else. All right. We'll do it. If you feel like dancing.
Heart will make you weep. You'll cry and try to sleep, but sleep won't come the whole night through. Your cheating heart will tell on you. When tears come down like falling rain, you'll toss around and call my name. You'll walk the floor just the way I do. Your cheating heart will tell on you. All clear.
Mr. Dirk Johnson over there on the piano. Not too much of that rock and roll now, not too much of that. We'll be done. All right, Mike. Easy on that jazz stuff, easy on the jazz. Your cheating heart will pine someday and crave the love you threw away. A time will come and you'll be blue. Your cheating heart will tell on you. Get her up there, Miss Wolf. When tears come down like falling rain, here we go. You'll toss around and call my name. You'll walk the floor just the way I do. Your sweetheart will tell on you. Your cheating heart will tell on you. Best two couples on the dance floor right here. Oh, yes.
And don't forget to tip your waitress.
I mean, them boys back then, you know, to dance to country music, you had to kind of swing stuff.
Do that again.
You know? And you should have jumped up there with me,
That was great, man. Well, I almost did. I was looking around for a mic.
Billy, while you're up there, I want you to share with this bunch here and with our friends watching. We've talked today about riding in cars and riding in buses and traveling and something. Are you guys familiar with what this guy's doing? He's not going to the fans. He's bringing the fans to his house.
I am.
Now, that'll save a lot of wear and tear on the body.
Well, it dawned on me one day that there's all of these people that come from all over the world to Nashville, Tennessee, and they come here to see country music stars and experience country music. And we're always getting on a bus or an airplane leaving here to go to their homes somewhere. And my wife and I, we have a little farm about an hour outside of Nashville. It's called Dean Acres. Dean Acres is the place to be. And we just tried, we said, let's hold, 4 or 5 concerts in our house last year. And we did, and we enjoyed it so much, we decided to convert this old 100-year-old tobacco barn into a little mountain Opry kind of a thing, and so we can have concerts up there. We sit about 150 people. We'll feed you a little Tennessee home cooking and play a little country music. And so it was a chance for us to to do something a little different. And you never can trust what Wikipedia will say about it, but in Wikipedia has always been saying that Jimmy Dean was like, I was related to Jimmy Dean, and we were no relation, but when that happened, I started studying up on Jimmy and reading up on, how he went from country music singer to being like, grocery store brand. In fact, I got a letter from him right after I won a couple awards. I found it just about a month ago, and he was congratulating me, and he signed it, "Love, Dad." But we're just kind of after that just started following maybe in his footsteps a little bit by just doing some other things, other kind of things besides country music. Use your country music, but getting it more in kind of a lifestyle. Like Jimmy got into the food lifestyle, and we want to get into the farm and agricultural part of what Tennessee's about, and what country music's about.
Okay, and you're going to do some more of these.
I am, and I would love any of you. I would be so honored to have you guys come play our barn. I'll tell you, you'll have a great time. We'll feed you.
How do the fans find out about it? They go to your website? Or?
You go to deanacres.com, and our next event is November the 17th, and we're hopefully we'll have everything finished with this barn. We had a barn, we had 2 barns on our property. One burned down a year ago, and the bank said, well, you got to rebuild it. And we were like, well, we don't really need 2 barns. Well, why don't we renovate the old 100-year-old barn? It was built so well. These men and women back in the day, man, they built things to last.
That's right.
And this barn is something we want to preserve, the way they built it. And we want a good spirit of music to come through there. So I hope you'll even come back out. I know you've been out to the place, but I hope you'll come back too.
Oh, I love it out at your
Play the
place.
barn.
Thank you. That would be incredible. I think he's come up with an idea. Everybody's over saying, yeah, that beats getting on the bus and traveling somewhere. Just have everybody come to your house.
I would love to have you. We'll feed you and put you up. By golly, we might even go fishing out there on Center Hill Lake.
Sounds good, Billy.
Thank you, buddy.
pal.
Yes, sir.
Always great to have Billy Dean sitting in the circle with us. You gonna do that down on the river?
I think I'll just go up there to Dean Acres. That sounds great to me. I believe, is there a place to get a clean-up room? That's a long road.
We get a
trip.
bluegrass bath, right, Ricky? We get a little water slap
That's
on.
right. Just take your T-shirt off and dip it in the water and just wash off.
I think it sounds like a wonderful idea.
But you have to do it in a service station.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to have you guys. You know, we were just talking about, my wife and I were just talking about this, because I'm from Florida originally, and a lot of my family's back there, and my wife's family's back there, and she said, you know, maybe we should sell the farm and move back to Florida. And I said, you know, I've been part of just a very little, tiny, small part of country music and the history of it, and I don't think I could leave that. You know, I just don't think I would ever be happy. And the farm is just kind of this. You know, the farm is where we've laughed. It's where we've cried. It's where we've fought. It's been the inspiration behind all the songs that I've had out on the radio. It sounds like home to me. We need to write that, Jimmy. We need to write that. And that's so. It's been so special. And my kids were going through. We have this place on a storage place where I had most of my awards and pictures and things like this. I had them up there in storage, and the kids, just teenagers, they just started rummaging through there. They had no idea really over the years and the history, and they started pulling all this stuff out and putting it in the living room, and that's how it went from the living room to becoming a little performance venue, is because they started dragging all this stuff out. And look how skinny you were, Dad. Oh, look at the mullet hairdo, Dad. And I'm like, well, that stuff could just stay in the box. But it's great that they're discovering, some of that stuff now. And so it's a big deal for us to be part of the history and the heritage.
You're sitting next to a guy that's got a big farm outside of Nashville, Jimmy C. Newman. You ever thought about converting the barn and having shows at your house?
No, it's a little heavy. I've been in it too long.
Could we get a good country song out of you?
Why don't we do the one that is the reason why I'm here today in Nashville, Tennessee?
Yeah. By the way, you look extremely dapper today. You really do. I love that.
Do I use it? Am I supposed to use it?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks to Miss May.
Yeah. When we
Miss May
bragged on him,
dressing.
he said Miss May. Yeah.
I don't want to break anything yet while I'm at it. Let's do Cry, Cry, Darling. That goes back to 1954. Okay? Is that what I'd do if you'd leave me with the blues. Cry, cry, darling. That's all I do. If it's you, I should lose. For me, there'd be no sunshine. If ever we should part, cry, cry, darling. do, 'cause you're the one that's in my heart. Little darling. What I'd do if you'd leave me with the blues. Cry, cry, darling. That's all I do. If it's you I should lose. You know how much I'd miss you if ever we should fight. Cry, cry, darling. That's all I do, 'cause you're the one that's in my heart. Little darling. Thank you all. Thank you, Bill. Especially for that I did here. Thank you.
Oh, man.
The pepper shaker goes over here.
Put it back on
Too
the
many
stand.
pepper shakers around.
I know that everybody here, we were all so into, so effortless. Just
dead on.
You know, he just did the intimate evening a month or so ago with Eddie Stubbs, and they were playing some of the old stuff, and it was absolutely incredible. Billy Paul and I were screaming and crying around the house. It's just, he still sings so great.
What'd you say?
About what?
No, you were talking about how effortlessly he sang.
Oh yeah, he starts out hitting that high note and doesn't even strain to do it. I mean, it just he sang so easy. And I don't know. I don't guess he minds us talking about it because we talked about his birthday. I missed his birthday back in August, and he celebrated a milestone birthday. He hit 85, I believe it was. Yeah. Woo! Yeah.
Jimmy C. Newman.
Thank you for the nice things. The little hungawa was off, and I couldn't understand you when you tried to spoke like that.
Little hungawa.
Thank you. Thank you all.
You have created words that I've never, like hungawa, snuff queen, diesel sniffer.
That goes back to those days he was talking about a while ago. That creation, he and Roger.
Yeah, we need a Jimmy Newman dictionary. Yeah, all of us.
But Roy was talking about those days with Roger, and I happened to be in those days too.
Yeah.
And I knew Roger pretty good too.
Did you have one of those briefcases?
What say?
Did you have one of those briefcases?
Oh no.
Yeah, Roger had the first
That's why he's
telephone,
around to tell about it.
and it was you saw it. It was a attaché case. Well, you had to go through 16 operators and hope that you could get a line. And we spent a whole mountaintop in California trying to get it to work. Said, it's Miller, it's a telephone. Yeah, no, we're not in town. Jimmy's talking about it.
That was my favorite. Roger, he said, my favorite saying was his. He said, I'm 20 minutes ahead of my time. That was my favorite. Because he was such a genius, you know.
Somebody said, I just wrote a hit song, Roger. He said, I'm sorry to hear that.
He told me one day, he said, it was Opry one night, he said, just started writing a new song. I said, you did? He said, yeah, let me sing just a little of it for you. He said, if you won't be my number one, then number two on you.
And you know, Bill,
I wrote part of that song after that. It's easy to sing. If I can't be your number one, then number two on you.
So that was a real song. You wasn't just kidding.
No, you wasn't kidding.
Yeah.
I was the first time that we met Roger, he was at the Opry one night, and when we came in the door, they said, Roger Miller's looking for y'all. Said, he's really looking for Buck. And Daddy had never told us this, but as a young teenage boy, he would come out. He lived in Oklahoma, and we were in Wichita Falls, and the band Dad was in would play like within a 150-mile radius, dances and all kinds of stuff all the time. And Roger said, I followed them all over the place. And he said, I asked the stupid questions. He wanted to play fiddle, you know, and loved the fiddle. And he said, I got to see Buck. And we never knew that about, Dad had never told us. But
if you're ever in that part of Texas or Oklahoma, there's a little town called Eric, Oklahoma, where Roger grew up. There is a Roger Miller Museum there. It's small, but it's one of the most incredible things. And you talking about that, on the wall they have all kinds of memorabilia from his life. And on the wall they have a paper that he wrote on lined notebook paper when he was in school, about the 3rd grade. And evidently the teacher had asked everybody to write what they wanted to do when they grew up. And in pencil and in his little 3rd grade handwriting, he wrote, my dream is to sing on the radio. Wow. And that letter's hanging on the wall at that museum. Wow. Yeah. For those of you that think that Roger just became witty and all those things after he got to Nashville, I met him when he was in the Army in Atlanta. We were both teenagers, and he was just as crazy and funny then. It was not an act. He was like that from the very beginning. I think I told the story about the time I took him to my house, and my dad had this little dog called Bruno, and we walked in the door, and Bruno jumped up on Roger's leg, and my dad said, get down, Bruno. Roger had never met my dad or the family of it. Roger said, Bruno? I wouldn't name a dog Bruno.
For those people that may not know, when Roger came to town to get into business, he played fiddle for Minnie Pearl.
Yeah.
A lot of y'all know that.
Yep.
That's how you.
And he worked at somebody mentioned some of the Andrew Jackson Hotel. He worked there as a bellhop.
Yeah.
Bill, do you think to me, like his unique sense of humor really, to me, it was, we were talking comedy today with Roy and with the writers, because the comedy of the Opry and the stars and people that run this circle, it seems to, the type of sense of humor seems to go back to Roger Miller. Kind of started a certain, just off left-handed time. You know, it completely surprises you. Do you think that he had a lot to do with our sense of humor, or did it go back before him even?
I've seen Roger stand on the stage and his humor go totally over everybody's head in the audience. I've seen it bounce off the back wall of the auditorium and come back to him, because everybody didn't understand his sense of humor, especially in the beginning. After the dang me's and things, they sort of caught on to it. Yeah, Jimmy.
Baby started crying in the audience and said, lady, if that baby don't want to smoke, don't force him, okay?
You just don't see that coming. I love that.
I understand, Roger. Roger was coming with so much stuff on stage, and if he had a band around him and stuff, added to confusion. So I worked with him not that many months before we lost him. And he was by himself, him and Mary, with a rented RV, and we worked at the Coin State Fair, and he was alone, by himself on a stool. And I said, Roger, you should have done this 40 years ago. Because everything he was doing then, most of the stuff he was doing, they caught it, because they could hear it. Before, they weren't confused. They were confused with all this coming out of him and stuff. And then it's ironic that it didn't last long enough to really put him in a different.
To me, Roger didn't give you time to laugh. He was so quick, you know. He'd say something and you didn't dare laugh because you'd miss the next thing he said.
Yeah, and then you would say, "What was that you just said?" And he said, "I forgot."
Yeah, he would know.
He was the poster child for ADD before he even knew what that was, because he just went from one thing to another so fast.
Well, I think, you know, the old saying, you know, out of the mouths of babes, we need to listen, because he said he wanted to grow up and sing on the radio, and your report card said Billy whispers too much. Need to listen. Had to say that, Bill.
Gene Watson, on your birthday, thank you very much. On your birthday, could we get another good song out of you? You started to sing something earlier today, and we cut you off and had you do the Marty Robbins song.
Well, Bill, you know, I'm celebrating 50 years in the business, and I forgot what that first one was. It don't work for me.
It's timing, Gene.
Ain't he a great singer?
I give up. I can't sing the right song. But no, it's, you know, I was sitting over there listening at Mr. Jimmy C. Newman, and he was one of the people that I idolized when I was growing up. When he was singing those country songs like Cry, Cry, Darling, I used to do those things the way he, in my heart, just kill me, you know? And he just did again.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you,
I'd like
sir.
to do a song that was written by Dallas Harms, a Canadian friend of mine. It was real good to me. Wrote songs such as Paper Rosie, Old Man and His Horn, and this one right here. If we can get the boys going, I'll try to do it for you. He met her in a honky-tonk, singing country songs that he wrote. Oh, she sat at a table, listening to his music and drinking Cokes. Well, he sat down beside her, said, honey, what's your name? She said, I like your music, sir, but fooling around is certainly not my game. When the small talk was over, the cowboy drank his beer and took her home. Lust on his mind in his bedroom, he had her all alone. And when the night was over, the cowboy shook his head, 'cause she slept on the sofa and the cowboy slept alone on his bed. All right, Dirk. Shows and sometimes on TV. He phones her up and talks to her long distance from wherever he might be. He'll ask her how she's doing. She'll reply by saying, just fine. And the moral of this story is cowboys don't get lucky all the time. And the moral of this story is cowboys don't get lucky all the time. Yeah. Woo. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Gene.
Appreciate it.
Gene Watson. We got to pause for the calls, take a little break, and we'll be back.